All right. Chiba, Chiba. Hey, sis.
Yeah.
Hey, sis.
Yeah, man.
Got that Chiba, Chiba. I'm the Hoochie Coochie man. I got that mojo thing. Chiba, Chiba. Chiba.
Chiba.
Yeah, I got it.
Chiba, Chiba.
Yeah, I got
that Chiba. Chiba, Chiba. Got that Chiba. Chiba, Chiba.
Chiba, Chiba.
Got that Chiba.
Hey, bro, you're a dollar short. Kick out the other dollar, bro. It's a dollar. Kick out the dollar, bro.
Got that Chiba.
You got the dollar, bro?
Chiba, Chiba. Got that Chiba.
I'm the
Chiba.
Hoochie
Got
Coochie
that
man.
Chiba.
Yeah.
Golan-Globus, winter has fallen. We've got a fresh coat of, well, it just melted already, but
Yeah.
it sucks.
It was 70 degrees. Well, a lot of shit sucked. We didn't know if we were even going to do this episode. If you follow us on Twitter, you probably know my dog died. You probably don't know this. I know Ava the action dog is fine because everybody knows and loves her.
Yes.
But I had another dog, a black lab named Plum. And it's not too tragic. She was 15 and a half, but you never expect this shit to happen.
Life always happens. at
Right.
the
It never
worst
happens when
opportunities.
it happens when you least expect it. Because I had a fucking hellish goddamn week with work, and then it ends with me having to put my dog down. So I was like, and I couldn't. I was like, because we were due to record the next day, and I was like, I can't. I could record, but I'd be flat as fuck, and it would sound like shit. So I needed a couple days to recharge. I want to thank all the usual suspects, Phil, Abra, Joe, Matt, Mel, and everybody else that offered their condolences. It's very nice of you. I appreciate it. But here's the thing. We're doing this episode. We're doing this the night before. Twas the night before podcast. Yeah. Because I'm crazy. And when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And I promised everybody last week Sonny Chiba is going to return to the theater.
Sonny Chiba. What better distraction for life than a fucking hour and 20-minute Sonny Chiba
With
movie?
10 minutes of flashback from the first movie.
How? How can they not figure out how to do this as well as they've done it in this movie on like some of our wrestling programs and everything? These guys are fucking killing it. Hour and 20, in and out, and we got a whole backstory because you may hear some extra voices in the background during this recording because we forgot the first movie and we are actually playing our episode.
I remember two things from Street Fighter. Black guy getting his dick ripped off.
Yes.
And guy getting X-ray punch.
X-Ray Punch was fucking phenomenal.
I remember, we did it a little over a year ago. We did it when Chiba-san died, unfortunately, from a virus we cannot utter because YouTube will cut us off.
We let it be known as the C word.
Yeah. But
so we might even take a break and just let that old episode breathe and take over.
That
for
would
a
have
while.
been. We should prepare more, Griff, because that would have been actually funny. Because we'd be doing like what they did in Return of the Street Fighter.
That's right.
Well, we would have flashbacks of our episode,
right,
talking about this episode. Why don't we prepare anything?
Who is this Jinjo character? Huh? Did it work? Did it flashback?
It depends on how much work you want to put into this episode.
Considering releasing this tomorrow, none.
Okay. So,
we'll see.
No, I don't. I'm fine with that.
There's about a 0% chance because we never actually go through and say, remember this character and break down the character. It's always in there somewhere hidden under the rocks.
We don't even know what we're saying on episodes, so we don't.
It's true. And that's why it's unfair to just, give us strikes, YouTube. We don't know what we're talking about. We admit to that.
We're an obvious comedy show. That's the whole. That's what irritates me about the situation. We're killing it. Griff is still. We're almost have all our Halloween episodes up. We got I think we all Halloween. The rest of Halloween's all we have left, right?
Yeah, Halloween. I believe they are all staged to go up,
and they're doing really well. So yeah. Listen to them, and then we'll be right back to putting the action movies back on.
Yeah, and for you sick perverts, I did put a picture of Ginty up over a lady's butt, so you can go look at our YouTube for that. Have fun with that one, you freaks, and your Ginty obsession.
What would that be called? Shrimping is toe sucking. What would putting Ginty's face on a butt be?
Oh my god. I don't know.
Butt facing?
It could be. Jowl. Oh,
jiggly cheeks.
Joundry. I don't know, man. We
Double
gotta
the cheeks.
We're not that good. We're good. We're not that good to come up with a whole fucking disease. Ginty like. But we got Street Fighter 2, Return of the Street Fighter.
Return of the Street Fighter.
Very simple plot.
Incredibly simple plot. Barely a plot.
Barely. There's a mafia.
The mafia's taking over Asian dojos to like launder money or something.
Right. And they have a front in Japan. And we learned later, and this was my favorite, like, read, big, like, dun-dun-dun moment when they said that they're bringing in a lot of money from Asian markets. And you know what that means. It's dirty money.
Why?
I don't know. I heard that line. I was like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. That sounds very racist.
I thought so, too. Well, I thought he looked like a beetle, but we do have a very racist hippie man in this as well, and that's exciting.
I don't want to blow. We'll get to it later. I want to blow the surprise. I gotta say, Sonny Chiba might be my favorite martial arts actor because there's nothing zen, there's nothing tranquil about them. He just is pure fucking rage and destruction.
Yes.
He fights like a street fighter in this movie. Your balls, your throat, and your eyes are no match for him. That's where he's going for. And when you're in a street fight, that's what you should go for. You go through the eyes, the throat, or the balls.
Right. Total fucking dog. I love it. Like in the flashback with his fight with Masaoka. Masaoka. We're really good at reading Japanese name, by the way. So...
I don't want. We just talked about racism. I don't want to seem racist, but all Japanese names look the same to me. It's hard for me. Like if I ever read a book that has a lot of Japanese characters, it's really hard for me to remember who is who.
Shogun, man. Yeah. When I was trying to read Shogun, I was having so much trouble keeping all the names in my brain because he does the thing too where he front loads you with a bunch of fucking names. So that was tough. And then the other names are like Dutch or something, even harder. Dutch names, whew. Henderson's.
I thought you just called Dutch like Schwarzenegger from Predator.
No. But like seeing that Masaoka fight where he's just like curling up real low, getting himself down, and then jumping up, and then jumping off walls. He's getting like his arm broken while he's biting Mazaka's face. So good. He is just a dog.
He's just fucking. To quote a Mayhem title. He's pure fucking Armageddon, is what Sonny Chiba is in these movies,
right?
And that's what I like. I like this. I don't like style. We've said this a million times. I don't like the John Wick stylized fighting. I mean, I don't say I hate it because basically all of Shaw Brothers movies is stylized fighting. You know?
Yeah.
But I prefer this gritty punch a dude in the balls, rip his dick off. Fighting.
Right. So many of the action scenes in this movie, and I believe in the first movie, are like maybe 3 minutes long. Some of the more, like, where he's battling Awazaki, it's like a longer fight and everything, and it's more, fighting with the eyes.
It was a little too long. It was a flashback. I didn't need a
Even
5-minute flashback of him fight. I didn't need the whole fight. I could have, got a montage of that
you
fight.
could have just, done the last few seconds of it or something. But still, it's just, the eye battling that's happening. They're sizing each other up, looking for the weaknesses and everything. They do a good job of that. We do get the stylized fighting at the end of this movie, which I thought was pretty cool with the flashlights. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. We'll get there when we get there, of course.
Speaking of flashlights, if my life hasn't been hell enough, last night...
Even the flashlights are offending you now?
Well, last night, this wasn't my choosing. I had to go to a show. I had to drive down to Detroit for this show.
Oh, yes.
A band that you guys are going to be talking about nonstop in another couple years. They're going to be the biggest band in the world.
You're Babyface Murray now. You got to make your appearances. Everybody wants your face out there.
I know. They kissed my hand. I was like, please don't. Rise. Don't have to bow. What you kind of do, bow. But
true Babyface.
I told you I'm a Stone Cold Steve Austin baby.
Stone Cold didn't ask people to bow for him.
I didn't either. I just said it was okay.
Oh, okay.
A band, Drab Majesty. I know all our we got the biggest hipster crowd listening, so I know everybody's like nodding their head right now. Like, yes, I know that band.
Right.
Okay, it's two guys. This is first of all, according to my sister, this will be the biggest band in the world in a couple of years. They opened for AFI. What does AFI stand for?
I believe it's supposed to be a fire inside.
Okay, I was lost in this world. I was like, who are these people? What are these bands? I didn't know. I just saw King Diamond fucking a week earlier. That's my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Right there. I like Satan. There's two things I like. Well, there's more than two things I like about music. I like Satan, I like war, and I like satanic war. That's all I want my songs to be about. So these people, I don't know what they were just because they're just. I was explaining to Griff, like, I'm old now, I'm 48, and I was still going, I could beat the shit out of every single person in this room right now. What the fuck? What? Everyone malnourished? What's going on?
I told you, Biden.
Not enough sandwich eating going on in this place.
That's
what I get out of my muscles?
No, sandwiches would make you bigger because of all the carbs and bullshit
I know,
and sauces.
exactly.
In there. Oh, you're right. I'm making your case for you. Yeah, you're right. America's turned their back on sandwiches.
Yeah, I know.
That's why there's a sandwich shop at every fucking corner.
Yeah, I don't get that. I mean, I can make a Jimmy John quality sandwich at home. I don't need to pay somebody to make my Jimmy John's.
Again, even when we had our sandwich debate, you brought up a good, sandwich that you don't keep those ingredients around in your house.
Yeah, I don't keep a Reuben ingredients.
You go.
I don't have that Russian dressing everywhere.
Yeah, Russian dressing everywhere, of course. But yeah, you go to a nice diner or whatever tier of Reuben you need that day.
Yeah.
You just have them make it for you. All these sandwich places, they give you the same bullshit. It's all just.
Well, we're not going to rehash.
We're not rehashing. No,
we're talking about Drab Magister.
Actually, what just happened was we had a flashback to when we did have.
Yes, that was just a flashback. That's not new.
My audio editing has gotten so good.
I know, it's seamless.
Seamless.
So these guys, there's two guys. It's dark wave, according to my sister, whatever that means. It's dark synth music.
So you're probably thinking, like, I like dark shit.
Yeah.
I might like to ride the dark wave.
Right.
So you probably, did your hair back or something?
No, I did it like Drab Majesty. And I'll explain what Drab Majesty looks like. Because, okay, they're opening. AFI, it's a sold-out show. AFI, I'm guessing, has a big following.
They were
pretty big at one time, weren't they?
They were my high school band. Got really big in the 2000, 2005 range, getting a little bit of radio play, had a music video on the MTV.
Yeah.
But fuck, I thought that window closed hard on them. But what we learned
It's
about
nostalgia, dude.
That whole show that was supposed to be the emo big fest thing when we were young tour, where they booked it without booking any band. They were all going to have 15 minutes, and there was 100 bands. Yeah. They were part of that, I believe.
And then they shut it down because wind.
Yeah, they shut it down because of wind. Yeah.
They didn't want the bangs blowing out.
I can't imagine those people have hair at this point, so, blowing wigs off.
So, all right, so these tickets got to be pretty expensive because, fuck, the goddamn Merciful Fate tickets we paid for were expensive.
I thought I saw they were $60.
They're 60?
I think so.
And then you put Ticketmaster on top of it, that's got to be 300.
Ticketmaster got to get a cut.
So, okay, we drive down. My sister's late, as always. She fell asleep.
That's it.
She's in her late 50s now, so that
you gotta get pumped for a dark wave show. I mean, you said it yourself.
Or you got to mellow out. I don't know.
You said it was pretty dreary, so you got to be.
It was pretty drab.
It was pretty drab.
And so we get there, because they're an opening band. So we get there, they've already played a couple songs. And so, because I guess they had a 45-minute set, we got there 15 minutes after they started.
Okay.
Which is good to me. I don't care. I'm along for the ride. I don't give a fuck about any of these bands. I've never heard of them.
To size people up and figure out who you can fight and figure out who needs a sandwich.
Yeah, I wanted to street fight some motherfuckers. I was pumped from this fucking movie still.
Right.
And no, I don't know why I was there because I always tell Griff, my sister, she wanted me because she was, I don't know, in her old age, she's getting scared about Detroit and shit, so she wanted me to just be with her, get to the venue. But she immediately bails on me every time. Every these shows, hey, I need you to come to the show with me. And then we go, and then she immediately bails on me. So she took off, made a beeline for the front, because she's smaller than me, so she can get through all that shit. And I'm just standing there by myself. I'm the dad that dropped off the teenage girl.
Bop with the kids.
Yeah. And so, all right, these guys, the two guys, they one guy plays synth. No fucking old man dance. They look like old men. That's their gimmick. Is old. They look like old men, but they didn't dance at all. I was disappointed by that.
We just saw two masters.
Yes, and a guy plays guitar. So they wear suits, and they wear. Apparently, these are wigs. I thought that was their hair. But one guy looks like Rod Stewart.
Smart.
Other guy looks like Phil Donahue.
Yes.
And they look like they've been infected with the Omega Man disease. So their hair is white, and they wear gigantic blue blocker shades, like wraparound shades.
Yeah.
And they look pasty, but that's probably just because that's who they are. But I was like, I almost ripped my shirt off, put on my little neckerchief, and stabbed the guy in the heart with a stake. I had some fucking Omega Man. I felt like an Omega Man at that fucking concert venue because everyone was so malnourished.
Right.
But I kept it in check, and then as soon as they were done, we just left. So I was happy. I didn't have to sit through AFI or anything.
That's a short show. You didn't have to stab anybody. You didn't have to slay vampires. I mean, you could have possibly broken the spell everybody was under, and then taken everybody out for sandwiches.
Yeah.
You got them
well,
all.
I wanted to. You used to be a good hamburger place across the street, but they closed, I guess, because of the pandemic. Union Street
Hamburger. I don't think I ever went there.
They were good.
Which place did you guys go
Majestic.
to? Majestic. Oh, yes. Okay.
So yeah, that's I've had a hell of a week. So I hope we're gonna pump it up with some fucking Sonny Chiba. 'Cause I don't want to disrespect the master. Like I said, he's one of my favorites now. We got to explore the world of Sonny Chiba. There's one movie called Wolf Guy where he's a werewolf.
That sounds perfect.
Yes.
And he's standing up.
82 minutes. Sonny Chiba knows the proper length of a movie.
He knows we're the Street Fighters of podcasting. That's what it is. So, of course, we take it a little too far. Half our episodes are over 2 hours. So, yeah. But we used to be Street Fighters.
Well, what would you do without it? No, people said, give us the fucking banter. So I'm giving all 10 people who voted on that poll.
All right.
You're getting the banter, and 0 people who didn't.
Well, we're about to cut this short, so why don't you just get some peaches out or something?
No, this is going to be a peachless episode. All right, everybody, it's what you've been waiting for. It's the return of Sonny Chiba to Golan-Globus Theater, and it is the return of the Street Fighter.
Look out! The Street Fighter is back. And his friends have been waiting for him. They'd all like to see him dead. The return of the Street Fighter, starring Sonny Chiba and his arch-enemy Junjo. Yes, Junjo returned from the dead for revenge.
The Mafia's ordered me to kill you, and I'm going to do just as they say.
The Mafia's moved into Japan. And what they can't buy, they take. But the Street Fighter's not for sale.
You can't order me around even if you have money.
I think you'd better think this over. Because you know what can happen.
Stick it right in your ass.
He knows too much, so kill him.
I'm showing you how the Mafia works.
So you're the Mafia boss in the area.
They had a very good idea. To take over the whole lousy yellow hemisphere. Look out!
We have a briefcase popping open full of cash.
And we see a really greasy-looking Japanese guy. He's got the fucking perv mustache.
Yeah, he looks straight out of the Monopoly game. He had that part in his hair and everything. I don't know. It reminded me of the Monopoly guy.
He just looked like a 70s creep to me.
Oh, okay.
But Asian.
Yeah, okay.
And he's talking to our boy Terry Sarugi. And he's like, look, man. I guess he's like was this Yakuza? I'm guessing it's Yakuza.
I guess. I mean,
are they outlaw?
I don't even think he was part of a mob because it seemed like he was just a free agent out there. He's just a shady businessman. Okay. And he wanted to do his things.
And he's like, look, we got tons of shit going on right now, but 2 guys have absconded with our we had gold. The guy stole gold, right?
It was like a gold statue.
Yeah.
Was what we found out.
Yeah. And so there's an Australian guy. Never trust an Australian.
Never.
and another Japanese fellow. And
Yeah.
one was named Rico Grandel, who was the Australian, and Jintoku Ryu.
Yeah.
But he's like, don't worry, Terry. Ryu is already in the police station, but he's a bitch. He's gonna blab.
Yeah.
So you need to. I don't know how you do it, but you're gonna do it because you're the Street Fighter. You need to get that motherfucker and all this cash and this Kinjitashi case. It's all for you. What does Terry say?
I love this. You just get to cut the Terry and he goes, double it. Fucking, he read the book.
Right.
He read the
Art
book.
of the Deal. That's the book you read.
Uh-huh. He's read one book in his life, Art of the Deal.
Donald Trump's Art of the Deal.
And
Donald Trump never even read that book.
he doesn't even.
He didn't even write it.
Yeah.
And so he's like, guys, like he was like, you got a hard bargain, but yes, double it. Chop, another Kinjitashi case comes out. He's
And
like, how can I argue with that?
I love the guitar riff throughout this movie, but you get that bow, down, 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 and we're just on the streets, and he's flying along.
That was used in one of our Italian movies. I recognize that riff.
I thought it was too. I was like, this sounds so familiar.
It was like in one of the post-apocalyptic movies.
Yeah.
So you see our boy Terry on his fucking motorcycle, wearing not wearing what you'd expect somebody wearing a motorcycle. He had like a fucking wool trench coat on.
That looked like the outfit you would wear to do like kendo fighting or whatever, like the stick fighting. So it's like fencing has the padded gear on, but kendo also has something that looks like that. That's what I thought it was.
I thought it was just a trench coat.
Yeah, I thought it was like that.
And then he had like goggles and like the fucking leather cap, like World War I fucking biplane.
Did he look like a geek to you?
A little geeky.
Sonny can't even pull that off. Like he did a good job though.
And he's like, "Well, how do you get into a police station?" Because he told him he's in room 8.
Yeah.
And he's like, "How do I get? The perfect way is to get arrested."
Of course. Does he drive straight to the prison? Is that where
he
he's
drives?
at here?
No, it was an embassy, which made it even more troublesome.
Oh, okay.
But so he starts speeding. Panchazuki sees him, starts following him, and he's just like, "Fuck you!" Just popping wheelies, jumping over shit.
Oh yeah.
He's like, you hear "Viva Chiba, Viva Chiba," and he's getting pumped up. And he drives by some kind of embassy. I don't know if it was a U.S. embassy. I don't know. It was just an embassy.
Embassy.
And he does a fucking flip. Fuck his bike. He's got 2 Kinjitashi cases. He doesn't need that bike anymore.
Talk about Chiba. How about Chiba Knievel? Because that fucking move right there was straight out of Evil's playbook.
Right. And he just does a backflip right over the gate to the embassy.
Yeah. There's a couple guys there waiting for,
they're guards.
It's guards,
Yeah.
yeah, of course. So they're not waiting for him, but as soon as he jumps over, they're like, "We're gonna beat your ass now," and he's just like, "Ah!" Who says we need a cat throwing up video?
Yeah,
clip?
that's
We just
his
killed it.
breathing technique is just cat vomiting a fur ball.
Yeah,
I love it.
Which we believe he had in the first one, but
He did in the first one. Yeah.
Okay,
I think he does in every one of his movies.
Yeah.
That's like his thing.
So he just opens the gate and
Well, he
welcomes
beats
the
the
police
fuck out of a bunch of cops.
Yeah.
And then he opens the gate and we get Return of the Street Fighter right across the screen.
Oh my god, Sonny Chiba has the best facials in every movie.
Amazing. Yeah.
Like, I don't know if we were to rank it today, he would be easily in the top 3, easily. Right. All right, so we know he was trying to get arrested, and he's going into that police headquarters just like he was told to, and
he's handcuffed. He's handcuffed with his hands in front of him.
Yep, he's got like 4 guys escorting him and everything. The one cop's just like, "That karate you were doing was fascinating. You must be some kind of great martial artist or something."
And he just blows him off. He's like, nerd.
He's focused.
Because he sees, he's walking up room 7, room 8.
Yep.
He's like, this is the room. Inside, they're beating Ryu with a fucking phone book, old school style. And
oh, yeah, Don Chickless.
He's just ready. I'll tell you everything. And then all of a sudden, the fucking Terry just runs in the room, handcuffed.
He throws every cop off of him because there's 5 cops in the little hallway. "Fuck you, old boy. Here's a hallway scene for you." He just starts kicking through the door. One kick, it explodes. And this door was made from the same bamboo that they use in the Mike Pillow pillows.
I thought it was made from a bonsai tree.
Bonsai tree? Yeah. I thought I saw bamboo, but blows through that fucking door. And the cops, of course, all the ones that are trying to interrogate him, enhanced interrogation techniques, they all scattered because they're actually cowards. They hit the wall, and so Ryu is just like, what the fuck? Backs himself to the wall, and here it comes.
No, what he does is he gets his fucking forefinger and his middle finger and just pokes the guy in his fucking vocal box.
Yeah.
And he just... It doesn't kill him. He eliminates his ability to speak.
So the cops are pouring into the room. He's fending them off. He's grabbing a chair. He's busting people over the head. Meanwhile, we have a window behind him, but it's got the metal bars over it. Right. And so he goes full tongue pow, and he just starts kicking underneath where the wall meets the window.
It's like concrete.
It's concrete.
And he's just kicking the fucking window out.
Exactly. And he is just breaking necks and everything. And then finally one cop comes in, and he squares up like he's going to kung fu him, too.
Yamagami.
Yeah, Yamagami. That's one we can actually pronounce.
Yes. Well, I'm sure we're going to fuck it up many times.
Probably. But, I mean, we're used to it because of the Tamagotchis. Yamagotchis.
Yeah. So he's ready to fight Terry, but Terry's like, job done. Why am I going to fight these jobbers? I've done my job. So he kicks the fucking bars out and just leaps out the fucking window, still handcuffed. Lands on his getaway car, kicks the side piece Kitty out of the driver. He's driving handcuffed, and he's like, hand me those picks, because she's got this thing with all these picks in there.
Yeah. And the other thing
he puts on his fucking 8-track, a fog hat, and then they just take off.
I like that. You got to search for a minute there for the 8-track in your head. Oh, I love this too because as we were talking about, let's flash back to our first episode. Red is a great sidekick.
Right.
Now we have Kitty.
I think Rat got killed, so he needed a new one.
I believe he did. Yeah. It pissed him the fuck off in the first one. He went crazy over his buddy Rat getting killed. I gotta watch that one again.
So now he's got Kitty, this groovy cute little Asian girl, Japanese girl.
Yep, and there's gonna be a lesson from Dad later on in this movie, but we'll get there when we get there.
And she's like, "Hey, Daddy-O, that was 23 Skidoo or something."
Her whole accessory up here at her head level was annoying the shit out of me.
She had giant rose-colored glasses, rose-tinted glasses. She had like pigtails, but they were sticking out like Wendy's girl.
Yeah, the Wendy's girl pigtails.
And then she had like a giant pimp hat on.
Yeah,
right?
pimp hat. And yeah, she's jiving all the time. Daddy-O, how about this 8-track-O? Let's hit it, bucko.
So job done. They're headed off.
Yep. And we cut over to that one cop who stood up and was getting ready to kung fu him. Yeah, Yamagami. God damn it.
And he's being reprimanded because he was in charge of taking care of Terry that he wouldn't get loose.
Oh, Ryu.
No, he was bringing in Terry.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He was probably the one who was like, "You're so good at karate."
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
So they're like, "You have dishonored. You have lost. You lost. You lost face."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I have." And he hands him a little card, I guess his resignation card. And he's like,
because they do it differently in Japan.
Beautiful calligraphy.
Over here, what would have happened? He would have got a raise.
Or he would have said, "I'm going to talk to my union rep," and then they would figure something out. But he's like, "No, I have dishonored. I'm the reason why a guy can no longer speak."
Yeah,
even though you think he could just write.
Right.
Maybe Terry broke his fingers too. We didn't see that.
So we see that Yamagami's leaving and everything, and the chief of police, I guess, who's left there, a character we don't need to worry about, he gets a call, and they have a trail on Grandal.
The Australian guy.
Yeah, the other guy, Terry's going to be going after.
So Grandal's hiding out in a movie theater. It was a nice fake out because they're showing some kung fu fights. I think it's just the movie.
Yeah.
He's watching a kung fu movie.
One, yeah.
And he heads out because he's waiting on his flight. So he calls up the airport like, "Hey, is the flight to Australia? Is that still on schedule?" And like, "Yes, it's going to leave in an hour." So he's like, "All right, I'm ready to go." And he's got a little case with him.
Yep, Kinchete case.
Yeah.
And as he's finishing up his phone call, he sees that the police are starting to turn the corner and chase after him. So they start, I think they started shooting immediately.
Oh.
Yeah. And so he's pulling out his gun. He's trying to shoot back at him as he's running the opposite direction. And as he gets out of the alleyway there's Terry just waiting for him.
Well, I thought Terry came down on a rope, didn't he? Or did he escape on a rope? There was a rope.
I thought he jumped.
No, there was
40 feet.
definitely a rope.
Okay.
I don't know if he came down or went up, but yeah, I think he was waiting for him there, and he goes, "I think that case is for me," and he grabs it, and then he just grabs a rope and just climbs up to a catwalk. There's these catwalks for some reason up on these buildings.
Yeah, I know we had like an exchange with the police where they just notice each other, but he just gets the fuck away. The police shoot the shit out of Grandel because apparently they've been trained. This was like an overseas training procedure or something where they trained in America, so they just shot this guy on sight.
Yeah.
So
well, he was Australian, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's the island where we sent all the criminals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes sense.
So once again, another great fucking move by Terry. Just walks away.
So Murray, let's just go ahead and be real with the audience here. We're 40 minutes into the movie, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's a lot of action right there. That's a lot of scenes happening and all that.
Yeah.
We're like 5 minutes of this fucking movie.
Yeah.
That's how much shit's in here.
They pack a lot in 82 minutes. There's so many cuts to this movie. There's like an 89 one. There's a 72. I said, let's cut the difference. We'll do the 82 minute.
Yeah, I did whatever one's on Plex.
This is on YouTube too.
Yeah.
So you can watch it for free.
It's a good fucking movie.
So now we cut to this school, the martial arts school.
Yep. Just like a Golan-Globus episode, it's always good to teach your audience the things happening in the second episode, the second movie.
Right.
Because we're about to learn all kinds of things.
They're going to let you know what you're going to see used in a fight later on in this movie.
That's right.
So we see, and they let us know there's little like
captions,
and it's like nunchucks, and the guy's just twirling nunchucks, breaking shit, spear.
Yeah, we're at the military arts school,
which is a front by the. What was his name? Otaku, I think was his name. The greasy guy from the beginning. I think it was Otaku.
Yeah, it was.
And that's his front, is this school.
Ataguro is that guy's name.
Ataguro? Okay.
Yeah.
And
Otaku is what they call the anime files.
I had no idea.
I used to, when I was an AFI fan back in the early 2000s, I had a little lady friend, and she would go to Schoolcraft down the street. We'd have anime nights called Otaku, and I would take her there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Buy her Pocky.
Okay. I don't know what any of these words mean. I didn't know what otaku meant. I thought that really was that guy's name. I'm not making a joke about this shit.
Oh, what was the A in it? It was AMAC.
Asian Martial Arts
Charter? Okay, anyways.
So we get Tanfu clubs, where it's just nightsticks that police use. We get Kama sickles, which are just like those little like sickles, and then they got a chain connecting them.
Yes, they do.
We got the bow staff. We got the katana, Japanese for sword.
Of course.
And we got the sai, daggers.
Raphael and Ninja Turtles.
Seen them all, and the only way this would make this scene better if we had Chokazugi demonstrating them all.
It would have been way better. We just have some nerds out here running around. We're seeing everybody. Because, again, this is supposed to be, we're going to learn in a minute here, this is supposed to be the front. This is supposed to be the bad guys hang out.
So Kitty shows up for Ataguru. Ataguru shows up at his office. She's got what Grandel's is his bag. Opens it up. There's a statue, a gold statue, but not just any gold statue, Griff. The Golden Needle of Ecstasy statue. The guaranteed to give you a boner statue that we covered in the great episode Golden Needles.
And so when I saw that, I was like, "Hold on, let me rewind this movie."
I think I hear that the sound effect that Ataguru made sounded like a plank going off. Because he popped a boner just looking at the Golden Needles of Ecstasy statue. He didn't even need the acupuncture.
But I will like to, if anybody cares enough to do this research, if you go back and look at that movie theater scene what Grandel was in, Joe Don Baker's in there.
They were watching Golden Needles? How ironic that he had the
Joe Don Baker was in the theater with them.
Oh, wow. Did he have a boner?
No, he didn't. But
he had a big seafood platter in his lap?
That's what he had. Yeah. That's how I knew it was him. I was like, I couldn't tell it was Joe Don Baker because of the fucking seafood.
They were sitting in a conversation pit.
Yes.
And he said, well, talk to me. And the guy said, I don't know. Who the fuck you are, mate?
So,
can I some of that squid?
They're looking over the golden statue of ecstasy and everything. And, of course, Atagoro is just like, this statue means nothing outside this country. It only helps people like us.
But they were like, how did the police know where Grandel was going to be? They must have somebody on the inside.
Somebody from the Seibu clan.
And now we know what the Seibu clan is. That's our master Masaoka, which we're going to fuck his name up throughout this episode. Who was from the first movie, little fat dude.
The little fat dude who, when we were thinking that Terry was a world beater, he stepped up to Masuaku, got handled.
You can't judge a book by its cover.
That's right.
Or a fat man by his lover.
What kind of book would he be? Because he's short and stout. That's like a children's book.
That would be that would be like
thick
that would be
pages.
Fonzie's little black book.
Yeah,
it'd be that thick and be
yeah.
little.
There we go. He's the Fonz book.
So we're seeing how they do. Of course, they do it more naturally. They don't hide behind weapons.
No.
Their bodies are weapons.
No, I mean that whole scene. It is literally called the Academy Center of Arts Martial or something.
Yes, when they were not doing martial arts, they're actually dancing like Murder Rock. That was school.
Yeah.
It was. They were on the other side. We never saw the other side of Murder Rock School. That's where they did the martial arts. And if only those poor girls, those poor sexy girls, had just studied a couple classes with the Tanfa clubs, they never would have gotten killed. By the way, go listen to that episode. That needs some more love. That episode. All the rest of Halloween did great. Murder Rock needs some love. So we see this is where we see the Sanchan breathing. It's like cocking up a loogie.
Just when you think we're going to get 45 minutes of that, no. We cut over some plate breaking.
43 minutes. Of that.
43.
It was pretty fucking long.
We do get some plate breaking.
Yes.
And these are like concrete plates.
Where are they? I thought they were like kind of like a terracotta type.
Or maybe a terracotta. Yeah. But we're breaking them with heads. We're breaking them with fists.
Didn't Masaoka break it with his head, or was it another guy?
It might have been Masaoka. I couldn't tell.
And still, even if it's terracotta, it's pretty impressive when there's like 20 of them stacked up and you go through the entire thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're pretty impressive. And we see this dorky little kid who's trying to break 3 of them, busting his hand up. Masaoka is just like, keep at it. You will learn.
The trick to breaking plates. Forget pain. No justice. No peace.
No mercy. He's the original. The Seibu-kan actually is Japanese for Cobra Kai.
That's it.
He taught the guy, I don't remember, Martin Cove. I don't remember what his fucking character's name was. He taught him.
Taught him.
Yamagama shows up. He was the inside guy.
Yeah, of course. And he also seems to be a student here.
Of course he does. He's a little chat with Masaoka. And he's like, look, Atagura and his we're just going to call it the AMAC, his school.
His school.
Because we don't know what that word does he stand for, so it's AMAC. And he's got over 6 billion yen in all these Asian countries. And because he's like, I guess the front is, they're requesting, I think they're going to the Seibu-kan, because Seibu-kan has like franchises everywhere in Asia too, we learned.
Yes.
He's actually going to the school saying, send us money. Here is Master Masaoka's name on it, so it's good. Send us your money. So they're just asking all these different dojos all across Asia to send money so they can make the greatest like
martial arts center
of all time.
Yeah.
But it's not. There's a front. They're just taking this money.
And Yamagami points out, 6 million, all these Asian places, we know Asians have dirty money. I don't know why Yamagami said that. Very confusing.
And he's like, and get this. I think he's working with the mafia. Because this sounds like a mafia plan.
Oh, shit. So, Masaoka has to order his men to get out, contact all of his international affiliates, get everybody on the horn, figure out what's going on.
The franchises, ask them what's going on.
Right. Have they been getting any weird interactions? Have you got weird letters from me? You know, that type of thing. Then warns Yamagami, because Yamagami continues. He's like, I think these guys are a mob, but they also have this guy, Terry, working for them. And, of course, Masaoki's just like, excuse me? Did you fucking say Terry?
Terry Tsurugi?
He pretty much slapped him in the face. He was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you going to fuck with Terry Tsurugi? Did you see what his name was in the caption, or the credits?
No.
Terry Sugary.
Yes, I did see that, yeah.
That's like me trying to hear and type it out. Like, that's what you end up with.
And he's like, Terry, that reminds me. And we get this fucking we get the entire fight from the first movie. All we needed was a few seconds. Yeah. No, we get the entire fight. It's a great fight, but still.
I like that fight. But yeah, we didn't need it.
And he's like, and I kicked his ass. And then that little dork Kazuko breaks in.
Which is a perfect name for a child dork. Kazuko. Right. Just like Kazuki was the little Godzilla who sucked.
That was Godzuki.
Yeah. Godzuki.
He sucked too. Yes. He's like, I guess is he the son of Masaoka? He's somehow related to Masaoka. He might be the grandson. I don't know.
It might be Mazaki. Apparently, when you're a sensei at a dojo, you get the fuck, and he's probably laying a pipe everywhere.
And he's just like, Yamagama! I guess they know each other. He's like, we need to spar. You need to show me some moves. He's like, all right, little man, we'll do that.
Yeah. There is scenes of them like sparring and everything, but who the fuck cares? It doesn't matter.
So now Masaoka, he's like, I got to meet up with his Otaguro and find out what the fuck's going on.
He's thinking that Otaguro is still a respectable businessman. Right. Not the type of businessman who comes to America and completely disrespects the way of our law and order. So he thinks he can come here and reason with them.
Right. Well, he kind of threatens him. He's just like, look, he's like, because he lets him off. He's like, I'll give you his chance. Stop doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm cool. We don't have any.
I thought you were going to build this school in the honor of Bushido and karate.
Right.
I hear you're up to some shady shit. Fix it.
And he's like, I assure you, this is all in the up and up. It's all for the art center.
Yeah, everything. Everybody's donating with so much enthusiasm. We're going to make military arts great again.
And Masaoka's like, look, man. He looked mandem. There's evidence saying otherwise. I've heard it. I don't believe it. Look, just return the money and we're cool.
So, Masaoka, that's all he had to come here and say. That's all he had to do. Just let him know, hey, eyes on you. We got eyes on you. But Otaguro, he's got his eyes on the prize, and he just got his brand new champion from the Middle East in.
The greatest martial artist from the Middle East. Not the Far East, the Middle East.
Right.
That's where they really...
Yeah.
And how do we know that? Because he's wearing the fucking Iron Sheik, like, turban on his head.
Yeah.
All right, so Yamagama...
I know you said that, and you're thinking, like, no, that can't be right.
Yeah, it's Yamagami.
It's right.
It's Yamagami.
Oh.
He goes to the place that the architect's
because he's off the job now, so he's gonna go check out the place. He's building the military arts center, and he's like, "Hey, what's the date for construction on this?"
He wanted to see the blueprints,
right?
Yeah,
and they said no, and he's like, "I am a
They
cop."
had the audacity to say, "You need a warrant," which they do.
Yeah, and in the Street Fighter world, if you ever resist threat, like, hey, this is not the procedure, that means you have to fight.
Well, we know you're automatically guilty if you ask for a warrant.
It's true.
You should just give the cops whatever they want.
That's right.
So Yamagami just starts busting heads. He's breaking fucking bones, x-ray chopping people. And that's it. He just beats everybody up and leaves.
Yeah, he's just like, next time I come here asking for questions, answer them. But you've said enough today. So he knows this place is a front? That's more than enough.
All right, this is, so far, we've only seen 2 of these movies, but I think this happens in every movie. We see Terry working out.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And he's using the old school 70s workout gear.
Yeah.
I think Columbo was in the background on a treadmill. That's how old school was.
Yeah, he had the leather waistband to hold him on the treadmill because he might fall off.
Robert Conrad's like, that'll kill you, Terry, because Terry's eating like some Sour Patch Kids while he's doing his workout.
He is still a kid after all. He's he's a street urchin, man. Come on.
And so he's got the thing where he's doing the sit-ups and shit.
Yeah, it's got the ankle hold in there so you can do a full sit-up.
And Kitty shows up with her mini boombox with the 8-track player on it.
Hey, Daddy-o, I got some new jams over from America.
Hey, groovy good. And he's like, whatever. I don't like music when I play.
Yeah, really. I don't like that shit when I'm working out. I don't need it.
Right. And so she's like, well, I need it. And then we get a little backstory about her. Why she's so groovy and so hip, because she grew up around military bases with American GIs. So she learned about rock and roll and all that shit.
Right.
So that's why she's the way she is.
Yeah. And the way she is Something. Anyways.
So she's like, all right, play your fucking Foghat. Yeah, she loves Foghat for some reason. I don't know why. She likes the slow ride. Take it easy.
Have you been listening to Foghat?
No.
It's really on your brain. Did
It's
they open?
It's the 70s, dude. It's Foghat.
Oh,
Everyone was listening to Foghat.
It could be Fogerty.
Slow ride, take it easy.
Yeah.
So I think that's a Foghat song. I'm embarrassed if I get that wrong.
I don't know.
It might be Nazareth. I don't know. But so she starts playing it, and then it just abruptly stops, and there's a message on this 8-track. Apparently, Atoguro sends all his messages on 8 tracks.
Right. This is very interesting. Also, kind of terrible. It's like in a world where there's plenty of ways you could spread a message. To do it on an 8-track that's recorded, and someone could pop in as evidence of a hit situation.
They're so cocky, dude.
They really are.
They're raking in that money, so they don't care. Terry, go over the meeting at Kitajima subway station, south entrance, 3 o'clock today.
All right.
So they're like, all right, we got to do this. So they get in Terry's badass like muscle car, drive down the subway station. There's a dirty ass white boy hippie there.
What the fuck? He's there. He's begging for money because, of course, he's on one of those Eat, Pray, Love tours. He's finding himself.
Yeah.
Clearly.
So we got some grimy. He looked like Mick Fleetwood from Fleetwood Mac.
Mick Fleetwood?
Griff thinks he looks like Paul McCartney.
I said Paul McCartney.
I don't get Paul McCartney vibe at all. Maybe a George Harrison, but
maybe
not Paul
Harrison.
McCartney.
You said Ringo earlier, so you're
yeah, but not Paul. Paul's the cute one.
You're not confident.
This guy
in your
wasn't
answer.
cute.
Paul's the cute one.
Paul is known as the cute one of the Beatles. I'm not saying that of myself. Everyone considers Paul the cute one.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
who do you think's the cute one?
George.
George?
Because I don't even notice him. Whereas I notice John's ugly, and I notice Paul's ugly.
George is my favorite Beatle, but I never thought of him as the cute one. He was to me, he was the most talented musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Ringo can't even play drums. George or Lennon is Lennon, and yeah, I guess he really is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so he can't talk. It's just like, what the fuck do you want? And he pulls out an envelope.
Yeah.
And he's like,
he pulls out a key.
Yeah. No, it's an envelope that had a key inside.
Oh, there's an envelope with the key.
And it's a subway locker key. Which
Right.
they even have those anymore? Like bus stations have lockers anymore?
Not that I've seen.
Last time I've been a fucking bus station. But yeah, then he's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Why would you answer? And he's like, points to his mimes. I can't speak.
Right.
know?
And so he's asking him, like, who gave you this key? Who gave you this information?
And he just pulls out a 100 yen dollar bill.
He opens his palm because he's like, how did you know to find me? And it's got his license plate on there.
Right.
And then it was like, who do you work for? Almighty Dollar.
Right. And so they go down to the subway station where the locker is. They open it up. There's roses in there for some reason.
To hide the case.
There's a Kinjitashi case in there. And there's a note for a job.
Yep.
And this job is total bullshit because it's about killing Masaoka.
How?
Because earlier, after Masaoka had reamed Atagura, he was like, that guy's got to die. You have to kill him.
He knows too much. He's got a rat. He's got a squeal.
So Terry he just cuts out the middle, and he goes straight to Ataguro. And he's like, you can stick it right up your ass.
Yeah.
I'm not going to kill that guy. I respect him. I'm not going to do it. Nobody tells Terry Sugary what to fucking do.
Yeah, Kitty, of course, is telling him, that's a lot of money. You should take it. You should take it. You should take it. But no, he's not going to.
He's got 2 Kinjitashi cases full of money. He don't need that shit.
Yeah. So he leaves the money with them and everything, walks right off, and of course, Ataguro's just like, fuck it. All right, goons. Get him now.
Yeah. So Terry, he's got to get his head straight. He's like, what's going on? He's like, should I warn Masaoka? Should I just mind my own business?
Right.
So where do you go when you need to get away?
When the thinking is heavy, you go to the thinning. The thinner the air, the better the clear thoughts.
Okay, so he goes to like Mount Fuji. He's going to do some skiing. He's not going to do any skiing. He has no skis. He's just on his ski lift.
Right. This is like a deprivation tank type situation for him.
A defecation tank?
Yeah, defecation tank. So he's up there amongst the shit weather, and he's just
God is defecating with snow.
Yeah, and it's just snow. It's white. You can barely even see 5 feet in front of you. So he gets to the top.
Kitty's like in the ski lift behind him. That was a lot of money.
Right. Where I don't even know if she wore a fucking coat.
He had like his like black outfit he wears, but big ass like government like white gloves.
Yeah, you got to keep those hands warm.
Yeah, well, even when you're fighting, hell yeah, you do. And I liked it. We rarely see fights in the snow, and this was real snow.
It was good.
Yeah, so as soon as he gets off, he's immediately attacked by the guys from the AMAC.
Right. So we see them one at a time. Right off the bat, we see our Bowmaster Daniels. So he's up. He's, obviously coming at him with that fucking bow staff. Terry's just kind of fending him off and everything. And he even just like kind of pushes him and tries to run away when we see that Kama's also here.
Right. And the Kamas that's the little hook
stick
things, right?
with the hook blade.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And he's just fending him off, and then the fucking spear guy shows up.
Well, bow staff guy shows up here. And so now we got bow staff and Kama guy. How's he going to fucking deal with this?
He's like a Kama chameleon.
Yeah. So we ends up getting a handle of the Kama and actually kills bow staff guy with other guy's Kama, then pushes Kama guy away with bow staff guy being dead and runs away again where he runs into Spearman.
Right. And he's like, remember, this is snow, so he's literally slipping and sliding everywhere.
Yeah.
And, it's just, I don't know, this was a very confusing scene for me as far as fighting goes, because it's just different guys with different weapons attacking him.
Right. So I could tell you that he runs right up to Spearman, and while the other two were actually like giving him some good attacks and everything, Spearman's a bitch. Because he closes the distance immediately, and then if you have a spear, what do you do when someone's that close to you? Throat check him or something? I mean, that might work. But it's fucking Terry. So Terry gets a hold of his spear and just drives it straight into Kama, who's running at him. And now we just got fucking spear guy left. He breaks his spear in half. And then, Murray, we don't get an X-ray kill in this movie, but we do get something close. Do you remember what it was?
The punch in the back of the head?
Yes.
The Weaver lock wake up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you're a fan of 80s wrestling, this move is usually used to resuscitate someone after you put him in a sleeper hold. It's called the Weaver lock. You slap a guy, when you knock a guy unconscious, you slap him on the back of the neck. But Terry's got insane hand strength. So when he hits the guy in the back of the neck, it literally knocks his eyeballs, like Beetlejuice style, out of his fucking head. And he's just fucking buggy-eyed now.
That's what you get for fucking with a stranger in the Alps.
If you ever fucking with Terry Sugary.
That's right. They got the sugar on top.
So he did get. He gets sliced on the cheek, right?
Yeah,
and I love it. Unlike the Italians, dude, fucking Terry's got a bandage on his cheek for the rest of the movie.
Yep.
Fucking continuity is spotless in this movie.
Spotless. Don't even try to find a continuity error.
So Kitty comes over with an ice pack. He's like, bitch, I'm surrounded by snow. I don't need an ice pack.
We're in the snow. They return back to town. Terry's like, I know this great spa. I'm just going to head there. And so here we are in the sauna room.
Right. And we get this goofy comic relief guy.
We needed that after that last scene.
We need to chill out a little.
Right.
We needed a rat moment.
We did.
And he's like, oh, you got a great body. Do you play pickleball? And he's just
pickleball.
Yeah.
I literally have only learned about this like 6 months ago, and I just heard it everywhere. They turned some of my tennis courts into pickleball courts. Infuriating. Yeah. And here it is in the 70s. I didn't know it was a thing.
Yeah, that's where it originated in Japan.
Oh, okay.
In the 70s, yeah.
Interesting.
And Harry's just kind of like, yeah, sure, pickleball.
After that rough day on the mountain, he's kind of like giggling along. He's probably remembering flashback. Rat. What if we got a flashback of Rat here?
That'd be great. And he's like, well, me, I study karate. You ever heard of that? I'm a fourth dan. And Terry's just giggling. This guy doesn't know shit. This guy's got an Elvis belt. He just paid for his fucking black belt.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I could teach you some stuff if you want.
Like, everybody that was in the sauna is now leaving because they're annoyed with this guy. And then we see some...
He tries to do some moves and, falls over and shit.
We see some, whispering happening in the back here.
There's a scene, because they got the sauna, so they have the rocks. And he
grabs
a rock like he's going to chop it in half.
He's trying to demonstrate his strength for him. He's like, fourth dans can do this. He grabs the hot fucking rock and sears both of his hands.
Right.
And so they both go over after that. and they're laying down. They're getting a massage and everything. You got the girls half dressed. He's got his.
He can't scissor anybody.
He can't.
Not even his daddy.
Oh my god! It used to be me making all the stupid AEW jokes,
but they wouldn't have known that if you didn't.
But now you're babyface Murray, and it's your turn. So they're hanging out, and they're getting their massages and everything. He's still going on about his fourth Dan ship and everything, and then he just reaches for his masseuse's breast.
Yeah, when in Japan, do as the Japanese do.
And so
they were going to actually go to a crushing bar after this.
Oh, okay.
If you want to know what that is, check our Ninja 3 Domination. Paul London told us all about crushing bars in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
They're fucked up.
Shit, I forgot about that. Yeah. That was a marathon episode.
Yeah, it was.
Bring your catheter to that one.
You actually say that on our YouTube.
I believe it.
So, I say cath up, bitches. So, yeah, I think, does the masseuse the first that attacks Terry?
I have no idea how I remember the scene. Fourth Dan reaches for the woman's breast, gets denied. Terry sees it, turns to his masseuse, and then flips her over.
Yeah, because he's an equal opportunity ass kicker. He'll beat the shit out of a woman, a midget, a child, a man. He doesn't give a fuck.
Right. So I don't know, but it seems like his spidey senses, his sugary senses were going bonkers because, in fact, this whole fucking spa is out to get him.
And he just commences to beating ass. He just beats the shit out of every single person in the spa. Patrons and people who work at the place.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Did you like that? They don't have defecation tanks over there, although it did look like a defecation tank. It was a bathtub full of matcha green tea.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was weird. Yeah. I didn't know they bathed in it, too.
Yeah, threw a guy in that, and he's just kicking ass.
Throws everybody in the sauna when everybody's been accounted for and every butt has been kicked.
Yeah.
Throws them all in there, locks them, turns up the heat.
Yeah, I think he breaks the thing so he can't even turn it off. And
Probably
kills people by dehydration.
Probably.
He doesn't care. He's fucking Terry Sugary.
Terry Sugary. Anyways.
He walks out and goes, how sweet it is. He walks out.
A little tweet from my friend.
That's Terry Sugary's walk away line. It's like...
So Mazuaki is, of course, working on gathering his evidence, and he is going to be calling in his friends, his international friends.
Right. You got some guy from Rangoon and Ragu sauce. New Delhi, India.
Of course, the place where you get the best sandwiches.
Yes, go to India. You get the best fucking corned beef you've ever had.
That's right,
and that's weird because they don't even eat beef.
No,
but they get the best corned beef there. I don't know what happens.
It's the goat cheese.
Is it goat cheese? Wow.
Yeah.
Why would that's more like a Greek thing? I would think. Yeah. Goat cheese in India?
Yeah, goat cheese.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they come in. They're like, yeah, we got these letters that said you told us to send money. Here's your signature right here. It's clearly a fucking stamp. It's just like, and they're like,
how are you guys so foolish? Do you not have any street
We learned
smarts?
that one guy got onto him and he disappeared and was killed.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
guy from Rangoon. And he's like, so Masaoka's like, this sounds pretty fishy. I think we've got all the evidence we need.
Yeah, I mean, he's got fucking letters that were hand stamped and all that. It's like,
and he's like, I always dot with a heart. I don't put a dot on the I. I put a heart.
Always a heart. And
so that's not my signature.
Adaguru has the worst commitment to crime, or the best commitment to crime, because he leaves evidence everywhere. The tapes, the letters, like...
But he does it with like a Batman villain. It's that style to it.
You think he's got style? You said he looked like a piece of shit earlier.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about his techniques.
Oh, his techniques.
Style.
Okay. You like his whole AMAC, too,
like he would totally put Terry in some kind of Batman contraption and then like take his speech and then walk away.
If he had the chance to, I think he would. You're right. Yeah. I like that. Okay.
So Kitty and Terry are going back to his apartment.
Was it his apartment? Or
yeah, it was his apartment.
Okay.
But he just bails on her. He doesn't give a fuck about Kitty.
She is playing the role of rat. Right. So, of course, he just does whatever he wants.
He has face palms. Yeah. There's like, this elevator's for one.
Yeah.
Walks in the elevator. There's a white bitch in there. And then talk about all the battles we've seen, Griff. This is the true battle. Smog versus Fog. They're battling, dueling with each other. Yeah. She's liking what she's seeing with
she winked
Terry.
At him.
And then he's just like, and like Smog's coming out of his mouth. Fog's coming out of her fucking under dress. It's just cloudy as fuck in this elevator.
The scene where the elevator opens and it's just like steam letting out.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
man.
like, that's the sauna.
Let off some steam, Bennett.
It's just like, we gotta fuck. Like, I don't, and so that's what they do.
I love this because we just have a shot of Terry walking back into his apartment and taking his shirt off and everything, and then he goes over to his bed and white bitch.
Right, she's laying in there, naked, and he just jumps on the bed. She like gives him a little handy underneath the sheets.
That's right.
They're going in for the fuck, and then she reaches over. This is she's a liberated woman because she smokes Marlboros. That's usually a guy brand.
That, yeah.
She didn't have Virginia Slims.
Nope.
It was Marlboro. That was Newport. And she grabs a cigarette holder. So she's like, his fucking is so great. Mid fuck, she needs a cigarette. That's how fucking good Terry's fucking is. You know some ancient Chinese secrets.
That's right.
And he's Japanese.
He's got such penis resistance or tolerance happening.
His turpidity is off the charts.
His turpidity is so fantastic. We won't get into the logistics there because...
And since she is a lady, she uses a cigarette holder like a fine lady would, and she clicks a button, and a long fucking blade comes out.
Way too long for this situation.
And she goes to stab him. He Seagulls her. He grabs her arm. Seagal stole that move from fucking Terry.
Terry definitely did.
Snaps her arm, beats the fuck out of this woman, like this 120-pound woman.
They should have used that little device from Dune that they were trying to get Paul with.
The flying thing. Yeah, that would be. I don't know how that would fit in, but yeah.
I don't know. I think it would have worked well.
And so he takes care of her, no problem. And then the fucking Iron Sheik shows up. That fucking Middle Eastern champion just walks in the door. He's got a fucking Italian tablecloth fucking on his head. Italian restaurant tablecloth.
Oh yeah.
And Terry just beats the fuck out of it. He Seagulls him again. The scene was so reminiscent of Seagal because he doesn't give anything up. He just beats the fuck out of this guy.
Yeah, puts him on his knees and splits his skull with a chop.
Right. That was good, though. Karate chops his head, and the blood, the crimson mass, Ric Flair would have just went, mwah, chef's kiss. Blood just starts pouring down his head.
Right. And he got something off of the woman, and he was like, oh, you're a mob lady. Now he's getting something off the Iranian threat or whatever this guy's from.
From the Middle East.
Middle East. Yeah. The Middle Eastern threat. And he's like, oh, you're a mob man too. So he's about to head outside. Kitty meets up with them, gives him an umbrella. It's raining outside. Right. You got to take care.
I love it. You're right. He's got an umbrella. He's like, fuck you. You can't sit under my umbrella. This is for me.
Yeah.
So she's just out in the rain getting poured on. Her fucking little pimp hat's drooping down. And then a mysterious figure steps in front of Terry. It's not mysterious to us if you've ever seen.
Hello, Terry.
Oh my God, it's Jinjo! And I totally was like, I kind of remember this guy. Thank God for the fucking flashbacks. Because we get a flashback from the end of the last movie, also raining. Nice touch.
Raining, yeah.
And we just see Terry ripping his throat out. He has like guts in his fucking hand. And we're like, and then we learn, like, Jinjo's like, Terry, the wonders of medical science. They can transplant a heart now. Why couldn't they just give me artificial vocal cords? He doesn't even have the thing. Usually you have the thing you put to your throat to say, no. He's got it built in. He's got robo-throat.
Right.
And he's like, I am unstoppable now. I must kill you, Terry.
Of course, he has to reveal that the mafia sent him here with money.
But I would have done it for free.
Yep.
Just to get revenge from you.
Yep.
And Kitty's like, you got to get the fuck out of here. I don't know why. This guy's elderly as fuck.
He's old. He's frail.
He has no throat.
He just had heart surgeries.
He just referenced heart surgery. He didn't have it.
Oh, okay.
He just had throat surgery.
Okay. But he's had to be in bed for a while.
Yeah.
And here he is, like, no, I'm still at the top of my gang. Let's head to some rooftops and fight it the fuck out.
Well, he does have the power of the Charlton Heston neckerchief.
That's true.
So that does empower him.
Yeah, that is a little too powerful.
And she's like, Terry, no, he's too strong. This fucking guy's like 110 pounds. He's smaller than the fucking woman that Terry beat up earlier.
Yeah. Terry, you're not enough strong.
And he's like, he just face palms her again. Let's take this to the roof.
Take it to the roofs. So we get up there, and Jinjo's got some size. He's working with size.
That's his fucking weapon of choice.
That's his weapon of choice. So Terry wants to even the odds, gets himself a pipe, breaks it in two. He's got a couple little pipes there.
And they just go back and forth. But Terry's he just got done handing 2 people their ass, so he's a little tired.
Yeah. He was getting ass, then he was handing ass.
And then earlier today, he fought an entire sauna full of people.
That's true. And if this is the same day, he fought on a mountain, too.
Yes.
So
he's fought and killed at least 20 people today. So he's a little winded, all right? So Jinju knows his spots, dude. He's like, I know. He's fought 30 guys today. Now's my time.
Right. There's a pretty cool scene there where he like stabs the one side into the, like a metal vent or whatever, and the 2 of them are like trying to grab at it and pull it out, but it's in there too deep, whatever. Yeah. Terry does eventually run for some higher ground, but he's just on like the building ledge.
Yeah, he's on a ledge, yeah.
So they're sizing each other up, and you're thinking, because all of us prequel nerds, he's got the high ground, he's in the power now. Terry's ready to win this thing. But Jinjo comes in, he slashes at his feet. Terry has to jump up. And Jinjo manages to, like, get a cut all the way up on his arm or something. That's what it looked like it was trying to show us. Oh. And then Terry loses his footing because it's rainy, and he's just on a fucking little rooftop there. So he falls over, does a nice little, like, ninja thing.
Yeah, we get a really weird, like, blue screen effect where he's, like, falling. And then, thankfully, there's like a wooden awning on the building, so he falls through this awning. And Kitty finds him. I guess Jinjo just assumes he's dead. He fell off a fucking building, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, really. Talk about cat and mouse. To not be like, oh yeah, I should go make sure he's dead. I was resurrected for this one reason. I should probably cut his head off, put it on my piano back at home. No, it's just like, yeah, he's probably dead.
Yeah. So Kitty grabs him and hauls him away. All right, so Masayoko, he's going to give Atagura one more chance. He's got all the evidence he needs, and he brings his fucking guys from New Delhi with a Reuben, complimentary Reuben. He's
complimentary, yes, of course.
And the guy from Rangoon, he's got some little ragu on it. It's a Vinny's, dude. This is, oh my god, I think Vinny stole the recipe from Masayoko.
You think so?
I think he was. Maybe he was praying, loving in Japan.
He probably
finding himself.
Yeah,
and he just stumbled on because they went to. Didn't they go to a Mexican Italian fusion restaurant later on?
Yeah, they do in a minute here.
Yeah, so he's just like Masayoko's like, look, man, I got all these witnesses. Look at that eye, no heart. That's a dot. I don't fucking sign anything without putting a heart over the eye. And it's like, you're busted, Atagura. It's over with.
Yeah.
I know you're working for the mob. You're working for those gaijins. I don't like that. But I'm going to give you one last chance.
Just one last chance. And we're thinking this meeting is going to keep going on. So we're outside. We're just looking around. And that mute hippie skulking around.
Yeah.
The fuck? Probably here to beg for money.
Yeah, we thought we were done with this guy. He's like, what's the fuck his problem?
So Mazuaka and crew, they do leave. And Ataguru is just like, fuck, man. What are we going to do about this situation? They're on to us. So we're going to have to talk to our contacts. Then he walks up, and that mute hippie is actually a mafia don.
He's wearing a purple suit now. So there's no way Mafia would let some guy be this all greasy and hippie-ish. He would be like, get your fucking haircut. What is that?
By Mafia Don, I mean he is literally named Don.
Well, no, he's Don. That was, what was his name? Don Cornelius. You said
Don Cornelius. Yeah,
Don Cornelius. He's like, this Soul Train ends right here, Atagura. You fucked up one too many times, and he just shoots Atagura.
Yeah, after saying some very racist things to him.
Yeah.
So. He's not.
So Masaoka is like, look, man, I heard about this great Italian Mexican fusion restaurant. It's called Vinny-san's. Let's check it out. So they go there. He tells a couple jokes so that they made her need Vinny.
That's why this felt so familiar. We thought the music sounded familiar. The Joe Don Baker scene was familiar. Of course, Vinny's here. He's either doing a Need Pray Love or he's doing the Anthony Bourdain traveling.
Just as they're about to break into this vermicelli nachos, it's just a big pile of noodles with nacho cheese and like peppers and shit on it. He's just about to dig in. The mob shows up, and they just open fire.
Oh, man.
Kill Yamagami. Kill him.
Yep.
Kill all of Masaoka's guys, all the Indian guy, the Rangoon guy. Just shoot Masaoka in the
Just
arm.
the shoulder, yeah. Or the arm, yeah.
All right, and we never see him again.
He
escapes,
yeah.
and then that's it.
So we're cutting to Kitty treating Terry in the sewers. We're going full Punisher here.
Right. Beautiful, pristine sewers. In Japan, they're so clean. Even their sewers, the water, you could just drink it. Put a cup out and drink that sewer water.
It's like spring water.
Yeah.
What are they feeding the people above ground? Terry, of course, is going to have another flashback to his childhood as he's coming back,
and
too.
I was so glad because I forgot all about this. We
Yeah.
learned his dad was a hard motherfucker. He was a Japanese soldier in World War II.
Yep.
And he made the mistake of knocking up a Chinese woman. And we
Yep.
know the Japanese do not like mixed breeding. So
That's
they
right.
hate. That's why they hate Terry. That's why Terry probably has a chip on his shoulder.
Right.
He was never fully accepted.
Yeah, unconditional hate for him.
So we get this great fucking message from his dad. Phil, tell your kids this message because it'll work. It'll for the rest of their lives, they will succeed. Trust no one. You can count on no one but yourself. Improve your skills, son. Harden your body. Become a number one man. Do not let anyone beat you. And then Terry just hulks up after that. Comes out of a coma he's been in a coma for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Gets up. And then, when you're in a coma, Griff, your potassium levels go way down.
Way down. The first thing you need is a hot potassium injection.
Right. And Kitty's got it. Pulls out that banana. Chow down on this, my brother.
So she's telling him all about how long he's been out, feeding him the bananas. You got to get out of town. Don't worry about me. The mafia's everywhere. And Terry, this was a great shot. You just got Terry's face just kind of leering over at her from the side eye, and just staring her down. Got the Band-Aid still on his face.
Beautiful continuity.
Beautiful continuity. And Terry just smirks, and he's like, "You've been ratting me the whole time.
I knew you've been working for the mafia the
Right.
whole time.
My daddy told me before he left this shitty earth, never trust a jive woman
Never trust a girl that jives like you."
that jives like you."
And she's like, "You got me, Terry. I am a rat."
Right, and she's looking remorseful and everything. He does not give a fuck.
He just scruffs her hair and goes, "Go on with yourself, little girl."
Yeah, because this is Rat. This is Rat
Right.
2.0. He knows that he doesn't trust her, but she's so weak that she's safe in his orbit.
And he's like, "Look, I don't give a fuck. All I want to do is kill Ataguru and make sure Masaoka is okay."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, somebody kind of beat you to it.
Right.
Atagura, dead.
Dead.
Masaoka, not dead, but fucked up."
Yeah.
So Terry, he's like, his potassium levels are back to normal.
Right.
Grabs that J&B whiskey, swigs it, spits it on his fucking wound, starts dousing his body with the J&B.
And then... You gotta breathe.
Right, you gotta breathe.
You gotta breathe.
And he's just ready to kill. Kitty steps...
I like this. I'm sorry. Because he proclaims that someone has to stop these murders.
And who better than a murderer?
I just love that. All right.
Kitty steps out for a cigarette or something, immediately kidnapped by the mob.
Yep.
Terry doesn't care. He's already forgotten about her. He's like, I got shit to do. I got to stop
Just
the
like
murders.
Rat, you let them just go and skitter about, and then, they come back. And when they don't come back, that's when you worry.
Terry, I don't think he makes his way to the academy. It's just like it's a fucking Sparks
You're
factory.
right. It was just a Sparks fact. I just assumed. I was like, this was what would make
I don't
sense.
know why they're meeting it, or maybe it was the academy
Unfinished.
being built.
Yeah, it's the unfinished
Okay.
side. Yeah, that would explain the scaffolding. and
So
all that.
he snaps the neck of a guard, goes up to the power box, and just throws a monkey wrench into it. Power goes out.
It's just like the screwdriver elevator technology, man. Just throw a monkey wrench at it, goes right out.
So he starts sneaking in, and he sees Kitty just laying there on the ground. She's got
Oh.
blood pouring out. Her eyes have been gouged out.
Gouged out.
And she's been beaten to fucking near death.
She, of course, tells him with her dying breath, just run. It's not worth it.
Well, no, she's not dying because later on she gets shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you know why? Because Terry uses her as a shield. Because, like, Terry picks her up, and then, dun, 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 that dirty hippie Don Costello shows up.
Oh, yeah.
And he just cuts the most fucking... If you were a wrestling fan in the 80s, you'd be hand over your heart like, this is the greatest shit I've ever heard. But now, in like more sophisticated times, we see how awful this promo is. That fucking that Costello's cuts on Asian people, yellow people, as he calls them.
Oh my God, horrible!
And he's like, I'm taking over this whole yellow fucking continent because they got plans. They want to take over Asia, man.
Yep, he does give Kitty some credit though. That fucking bitch, and he uses some very pejorative words against her.
Fucking bitch, not one of them, but you know.
That's an acceptable pejorative. And so, you were putting here it works on two.
Right. Because she said she was yellow, and if you're racist, that works on two levels.
I see what you mean there. Oh, that's awful.
And so Terry's holding Kitty. Don Costello goes to shoot her. Terry literally uses her as a shield. Like, she gets shot and then dies.
This is why these movies are so fucking good. Because just when you think Terry has turned a corner, is going to be more, like, kind to everybody and respect everyone, he's like, no, I still need to live to kill people.
Well, he knows she's not going to live, okay? So he's like, well, might as well save my life. Jinjo goes, Don, stop it. I'm here to fight him. This is our destiny. And Don's like, okay, all right, go ahead and do it.
I guess. And so Terry is just kind of like slowly letting what's her name, Kitty, down on the ground. But as he's doing it, he's going into his loaded sleeve, loaded cuff bracers.
Right, pulls out a couple blades.
Yep.
And then the guys, they're getting ready. They're going to have a flashlight match. Like, everyone's surrounding them with flashlights.
Yeah, this is some fucking Russo booking here. Flashlight match. He throws out the blades. He ends up stealing a gun from somebody.
Well, come on, you're cutting out the lead here. He throws one blade, hits Don Costello in the fucking eye.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then he hits another guy with the gun with the other blade.
Okay.
So then he gets a hold of this gun. Stabs the guys.
He shoots him. And then stabs him in the bullet wound.
Right.
Which makes it so much better. And we also have to talk about that man who just got shot and stabbed. Because he's sprinkled into this movie in the background. And on my second viewing, I was like, I hope this guy does something in this movie. Because he's wearing like onesie, overall, jumper kind of outfit. And he's just this giant, like 6-foot dude. You think he's going to have a fight with him. He gets shot in the belly. And then Terry literally jams the gun in that fucking wound. It was incredible.
And now we just get basically 10 minutes of this Terry going through the building, fighting guys. And
there's cool breakdowns where you hear a lot of action. You see kind of shadowy figures being thrown everywhere. You don't know how Terry's doing. You assume he's beating ass. And then he'll like stop to do some breathing. Of course, we know what his breathing sounds like. And then they turn the flashlights on him, and you see he's all bloody, and he's breathing heavy and everything. And then the flashlights go off, and they fight again. So,
and there's some slow motion because they got to pad this movie. It's only, like I said, only 72 minutes or whatever it was.
Yep.
So he takes out all the goons and all that's left. And all the time he's chasing after Costello. Costello's like throwing goons like in the way and shit, trying to get away because he's a bitch. And then all that's left is Jinjo and Costello. So Jinjo's like, all right, I will take him on.
Yeah. So now they're like in a tight aisleway with
like a catwalk type
catwalk, and there's like electricity all around them, and there's scaffold. And
bear in mind, we just pointed out he threw a monkey wrench in all the power should be cut off.
We would assume. Apparently, there's multiple breakers all over the place.
One section that's powered by generator for some reason.
So now I know what you were talking about earlier, and there's loose tools scattered everywhere as well. So Jinjo getting the better. Of course, Jinjo is just allowed Terry to fight everybody in this building.
That's Jinjo's move.
It is. Just go at it. He is 100, like you said. And he is recovering from vocal cord surgery.
Right.
So
okay. He has artificial vocal cords. It's true.
So he's getting the better of Terry again, and he actually like lands a blow so bad on Terry that Terry crumples over. He's on his back. His legs are straight in the air. And then Jinjo comes around the corner and grabs his foot and is going to do what with it? I don't know.
Figure 4 leg lock.
Figure 4 leg lock. He was calling for it.
Right. And there's no ropes for him to grab to break it.
No, nothing.
So.
Not even a ref in.
I don't even think Terry's even strong enough to flip it over and reverse it.
He's definitely not. Even over 100-year-old man.
So there's going to be some legs going to get snapped.
Right.
Unless Terry finds an international object.
Oh.
A drill bit, a big-ass fucking drill bit.
Big old auger.
Stabs Jinjo in the foot. And that's his weak point. That's his Achilles foot.
That's his Achilles foot.
And he's like, oh, and then Terry just punches him into this fucking the same grid they tied Dolph Lundgren to electrocute him and
Showdown in Little Tokyo.
And go listen to that. 300,000 people cannot be wrong.
Cannot be wrong.
Well, 10 of them are because they say we suck. But yeah, and so now Jinjo's. I have a feeling Jinjo's going to show up in the next movie.
He's got to be in the next one.
Now Costello has nobody. It's just Terry and Costello.
They somehow, maybe you can help me, end up on a car.
They get outside, and there's a mobile truck driving by. So Costello jumps on it because he's a bitch. So he grabs on because there's that little ladder on the back, climbs on, and then Terry's just like, I can climb too, motherfucker. So he climbs up, pokes out Costello's other eye because he's blinded at this point, and then I don't know. What happened? He throws Costello's body so it lands on the windshield.
Yeah.
Which freaks out the driver. So he crashes. Remember, this is a gas truck. Terry just leaps off. Probably does a flip off it. And the fucking thing explodes. And then, like every classic Asian movie, it just abruptly ends. There's no epilogue. We don't know what, it's just like, all right.
That's a day in the life of Terry. That's all that was.
Yeah. Usual day.
Usual day.
So there you have it. It's good to have Sonny Chiba back in the theater. I hope we will go less than a year to get the last movie in the series, Street Fighter's Last Stand.
Yeah.
But, Griff, next week's could even be better than this week because next week is our big Thanksgiving Day episode. It's a Van Damme thank you, ma'am day.
Oh, boy.
All right, I got to give some backstory. All right. We always let our Twitter followers decide what our Thanksgiving, because this is when we give thanks back to our listeners. So we might come up with the topic, the star, or whatever. This year we actually let people pick the star, and it was close. It was a dogfight. I think Van Damme won by 1 or 2 votes. He ousted Seagal by 1 or 2 votes.
It definitely wasn't a Dolph fight.
Dolph was way in the bottom. He wasn't even in the fight. So we were like, we're going to come up with 4 straight-to-video. We investigated damn straight-to-video, and it looked dreadful.
Oh, it's not good. Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to put us to sleep. I want to be excited for this.
It's a big episode.
Right. So I'm like, we're not going to, because unlike Seagal, Van Damme actually has kind of a sense of humor about himself.
Yeah.
Seagal's straight-to-DVD are great because he has no self-awareness at all.
No.
But Van Damme kind of does. So we were like, I don't want some boring ass. We're going to do some classics. We put up 4 of them. And we had day of the fucking, like there was like less than 24 hours.
Right.
It was 55 votes.
And you opened the mail-in ballots.
Well, here's the thing. There were 55 votes. And what'd you call it? The winner was barely, I'll tell you the winner. It's Time Cop. Time Cop was barely beating Double Team. Everybody knows nothing bums me out than seeing Van Damme with a mullet. So I was like, can we get some Double Team votes, please? And Phil, our buddy Phil DeGlass, Burial Grounds a few weeks ago, he was a guest on. He agreed with me. So he said, hey, I'm calling in some favors. Vote for Double Team. So we got 2 votes. It was tied. Okay, I just said, and I was like, great. We'll have like Georgia, we'll have a runoff if we get a tie. If it ends in a tie, we'll have a runoff. Just these 2 movies. You got to decide. Overnight, literally the votes doubled. Jesus. We got 109 votes, which we never even come close to that shit whenever you do a poll, and almost half of them for Time Cop. So we are doing Time Cop for this year's Thanksgiving episode.
It's going to be a good one. There's going to be an extra surprise on it. That's where I hit my pod fame.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, we'll save that for the next episode.
Yeah.
And not only that, you're going to want to look out for this week's Tippy Tap, another installment of Cop in the Field. Griff, do you ever get tired of being so innovative?
Murray, it's one of those things where it's so second nature to us now that people tell us you're being really innovative, and we're like, wait, what? What do we do now?
We're putting Copping a Field to the test because we always say you learn the most about a person by their favorite TV cop.
That's right.
We're putting it to the test because we've never spoken to this guest ever. Griff and I have never had a conversation with this guest. He does have a tie to the show, which you will learn, and we're going to learn along with you everything about this guest. So make sure on Sunday to listen to that.
I mean, we're going like full journalistic integrity with this one. We got 4,000 questions.
Right. We're gonna get you. Bring your catheter because I don't give a shit if you're coming just for the cop show. Sorry, because we have questions. We want to learn about this guy.
This is true. This is true.
So make sure to listen to that and make sure to see us on your Thanksgiving Day weekend. You're gonna fuck Black Friday. It's what Wednesday? What color are we?
What color are we?
I don't know.
Dark Wave Wednesday.
Dark Wave Wednesday. So when you're stuffing the turkey, you'll be thinking about Van Damme. See you next week and keep it warm.